Greetings and welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is my show, Goth Tarot, my weekly short collective look into the shadow issues of our lives, philosophies, feelings, things that could be happening, things that we think are happening. It's all here, and of course this is for the week starting February 2nd till next Tuesday. That should be the 8th. So we are in the Imbolc season. This is the quickening season. This is the time that's considered to be halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So this is the time where maybe we start to really see and acknowledge the first glimpses of the light actually having returned at the winter solstice. Anyways, we do our reading with the goth, dark, emo-minded focus, and it is a collective reading, so if it resonates to you, that's wonderful. That's what I want to hear. Please let me know that. Today is a very cold day in Detroit area, so like maybe at least one of my followers out there, you might be cuddling up with a warm soup or maybe some nice warm baked lasagna. So anyways, we're going to get started, and of course what we want to do is take the temperature of the overall, and that's called the dark design, the focus, or what seems to be going on this week. And for that I use my wonderful Murder of Crows tarot. It was a wonderful signed edition gift to me. So I'm just going to shuffle up the cards. I always warm them up a little bit, but I'm going to do it again. And so the dark design, what is really our focus? What's really going on around us at this time? I'm just going to pull that card randomly. And why does this seem familiar? It's the star. It's upright. Oops. Yeah, we did have this the other week. It might have been reversed, I don't remember. So the star is the design, the dark design of the week. And what that means is, of course, so what do we think when we have the star here? This maybe is really about us finding the way to bring some inspiration and hope to us. This is literally at that, still quite dark, but maybe with Imbolc, St. Bridget's Day, Lady Day, however you want to call that, Groundhog Day. That light is starting to pierce, and it's sort of exemplified in a way by the stars. So this is something for emos to feel, dark goth people to feel, that despite where they are emotionally, there's a hint or more of hope in the air. Now, to qualify this, I'm going to look at it with the additional cards from the Crow Tarot. They give us two unique cards, which are really double-sided. So 4, the one is the Crow Father and the Crow Mother, and this indicates whether it's a physical or psychological thing. And then, of course, there is the Crow of Dawn, the Crow of Dusk. Is this a beginning or the ending of something? So we start with that one, and I'm just going to throw the die here. If it's an even number, it is the Crow of Dawn, the more female attunement. I'm sorry, the Crow of Dusk, the more female attunement. If it's an odd number, it's the Crow of Dawn, which is the more male attunement. And I got number 1, so it's the Crow of Dawn. And that means that it is the beginning of this idea. And that's great. You don't want to be at the end of that. You don't want to say inspiration is ending, hope is ending. So the beginning of this whole matter of our feeling that attunement. It's not saying that really hope has come back, but this is what we're feeling. It is the focus around us. It's what we're trying to do, of course. So then we're going to move to whether or not this is something internal or external. And I'm going to try to... And I got number 18. By the way, I am, of course, using the D&D type of 20-sided dice. So to keep track of even or odd. So since it's even, that means that it is the Crow Mother. This is almost like last time in a way, isn't it? It's kind of weird. So this is really a very internally felt kind of thing. It's psychological. This whole idea of gathering in the hope of this time. Maybe we're being influenced by the stars at this time, or the seasonal change, that actual, like I said, divide between the dark side of the year and then the hopefully coming new light. So we are internalizing this whole thing here, looking forward to hope in our lives. But in all of this, there may be something that we can't quite get away from. It's those dark shadows, the thing that haunts us. And so for that, I use the Goth Tarot, a low Scarabeo deck. And so I use this because it attunes to the idea of a haunting. So this isn't necessarily a ghost or spirit that's haunting you out there, but it could be saying this is an impression that haunts you. This is a thing that haunts you. This is a feeling that haunts you. It haunts you. It remains. It doesn't want to go away. It has some message for you. What haunts you? And it's the reversed strength. The reverse strength is what haunts you. What does that mean? Well, I think what it means is that you feel you can't escape something physical about this matter, that or about matters in general, that there's going to be a point where there's some sort of physical kind of confrontation or physical application of how you expect to achieve your goal. You don't feel you can convince someone emotionally or through their hearts or your words of helping you or of doing the thing you're trying to create, whether it's that first one or not, the flow of inspiration or hope you want to feel. What this is saying is you feel, it haunts you that you may have to resort to some sort of physical force or employ it in some way. So now we're going to move to the Night Sun Crow. And this is where we have been before. There are two cards we pull here, the Dark Truth and the Dark Sacrifice. And like before, they mean the same things. They're just sort of in a different context, slightly different context now. So we're going to shuffle the cards and do that. The Dark Truth. The Dark Truth is the reality you seem to understand now, the way you feel about that. And it's the King of Pentacles. And so maybe the reality you inhabit at this time is that you feel like you are in control of your fate, or at least on the material side of it, you've kind of put it together. You feel like you have a foundation, you have some sort of thing to work from. This does not necessarily indicate you're coming into money or you have money or you will be moving that way, but you carry yourself with that role of responsibility and orientation towards creating a better flow for yourself. So you're trying to be a business person, you're trying to be in control of finances, you're trying to manage things. You really want to manage things, especially where it concerns your material life. And that also includes your security. So that's your reality, is your focus. Despite what the first card said, your real actual focus right now, your truth, is handling and managing your material life. So then the next card from the same deck, the Night Sun Tarot, is your Dark Sacrifice. And this would be the things that are sorrows to you, the things that you may have to consider giving up or changing in certain ways in order to affect or effect the greater good that you want. And it's the reversed Eight of Swords. The reversed Eight of Swords says you're giving up certain levels of holding yourself back. You're moving ahead. You're moving from restrictions. Let me think about this for a minute. I want to put it in context maybe with the other cards. You know, it could also be saying, you know, something similar in a way to just saying you realize you have to change in certain ways, like that strength reverse. You have to kind of go back into yourself and rely on your own methodology, you know, the whole, you know, not necessarily pushing yourself out into the world, but maybe continuing to view the world from a level of protection or inaction. Some of this may still be based on how you are understanding or interpreting the information you feel. So it's kind of interesting, like maybe you need to make this change, but there's sort of a real cautionary note in all of that. You know, it's probably the nature of that card, that reversed Eight of Swords. So then, what really sucks this week? What is that thing that drains you if this isn't enough? And for that I use the Vampire Tarot. So we're going to give that a shuffle. And please do like and share. Let's spread the message of TFT as well as Goth Tarot. Plus it is Imbolc, so, you know, happy Imbolc. All right. What sucks this week? What's draining you? Ooh. There's a lot of context here that I have to hopefully get. It's the High Priestess. The High Priestess is, of course, always considered to be the person that holds wisdom and perhaps decides how it should best be distributed. There may be a lot of secret wisdom aspects to this card, and so what really sucks is that maybe there's something here you have that you can't really share yet. It's your own wisdom. Maybe it's a perceived wisdom. Maybe it's an actual wisdom that you know through various means. But what sucks and what maybe is draining you is the weight that this puts upon you to keep this secret or hidden in some way. So, of course, obviously this could portray to certain professions. Police, judges, lawyers, people who are entrusted with certain information and maybe have to be very, very judicious about how they impart that, or if they can impart that. But it could pertain to a lot of metaphysical professions too. You know, us witch doctors, us witches, druids, shamans, etc., who maybe understand certain wisdoms and can't necessarily relate that to the people around us who may understand this on some level, but maybe because maybe some of us are a little bit more mystical. Maybe that's why you're here. Haha, I fool myself. I'm so mystical. But regardless, there is this idea that it's a burden to not be able to share certain things. And even if it isn't about our mystic inner wisdom, it just may be about our hidden truths, the things that we believe in. And so this doesn't necessarily pertain to just the non-Christian world. It could be about Christian mystics too. They have Christian mystics. It could be about the Sufi, the Islamic mystics. It could be about the Far East mystics. It could be about all the people who cannot necessarily speak their truth. That really sucks. That's a big emotional drain, you know, and maybe there is an enemy here. I'm not going to say who that is, but we can decide for ourselves what causes that. That's really what's at the heart of all this, is that there is an oppressive thing out there in our spirituality. It's co-opted most of us in certain ways. Ooh, Mr. O is really getting out there. So now really there's nothing else left to do but go to that final card from the Crow's Magick Tarot. And of course, we used it in our previous rendition of Goth Tarot, and it means the same thing. The Dark Gift. This card tells us what our dark gift is, what our energies, skills, abilities, insights, and or maybe tells us how we can use them in all of this. And if there's any thread here, it just would seem to be that we're highly inspired to effect change in the world. We feel this so intensely, but we know that this is going to be a physical battle to some degree, and maybe some of this tells us that we're not really ready for it, that maybe we have to bear these hidden truths. Is that really what's going on, or is there an answer in the dark gift? What falls to the floor comes to the door. Nope, there are too many cards. I can't do that. I thought it was just one. I didn't even look at them once I realized there were several down there. But that's an old fortune teller shtick that Banshee used to tell me that her aunties who taught her how to read the regular plain deck when she was a child, that if a card falls out of your hands and comes to the floor, it means it's very important. What falls to the floor comes to the door. So I'm just going to pull that card randomly. Who knows, maybe I'll get whatever was intended. Ooh. The Dark Gift. The Devil Reversed. The Devil Reversed. Let that sink in. That skill, talent, intuition, insight, ability, or power that can help you is your ability to perceive how this world enslaves you, how things enslave you, and it's mostly the material things, so that's why I said the world. I think the devil is the world is the devil. Isn't that a famous novel? And we are being called upon at this time, Dark Ones, to understand that maybe we are in the forefront of those who understand the material world's horrible influence on us. I'm not saying you can't make money, but gosh darn it, do you have to make all the money? Do you have to withhold wealth? What are you doing that for? What's going on, all of you rich people? So I think the dark gift is to join with others and say, this form of capitalism is not the way. It needs to change. Happy in bulk. Blessed be.